So hi, I'm Chris, and this is Jamie. We're at Steamforged HQ, and we're playing the new starter set.
We are indeed, yes.
Which is for Warmachine, but this is featuring the two new starter command cadres.
That's it, yeah.
Which are for the Trollkin, for the Southern Creole, and for the Chimera.
That's it.
And these are going to be in plastic, which is going to be amazing.
Yes.
So, quick thing to point out, we'll point out with our Warlock here.
Yeah, Valix. Yeah, so because we have the studio, we're fortunate enough to be playing with the studio paints.
Yeah.
Lovely to have these in front of us. But it does mean that some of these are early prints, which means that Valix is slightly larger than you'll see. It's on a 50mm base in the studio print. The version you're going to receive is, and the balance for the miniatures is going to be 40mm based.
Yeah.
So
not going to make that much difference for this.
Not really.
No. And we've got a small scenario set up with some objective terrain.
Yes.
So the point is that we're going to be able to claim victory points from these if we have two models, any two models.
That's it, yeah. Any two models within 3 inches of any of these terrain pieces. So we've got these little tokens just marking which ones they are, but it's the terrain piece itself that is the objective.
Yeah.
So as long as we have any two models within 3 inches, they can score a terrain piece from the end of the second place, or from second place, second.
Yeah, sure. And we've got other terrain in play. So these are just standard obstructing terrain. We've got walls, which is a good old cover. We've got some rough terrain, and we've got some trenches.
Correct.
So we'll talk about those if they turn up in gameplay.
Absolutely.
And we've already rolled off to see who's going to have the first turn. So the Chimera have the first turn.
Yes, indeed.
So let's get to it.
Absolutely. Okay, so one of my miniatures is not starting on the game board. That's going to be Regulus. So Regulus has ambush, so Regulus is going to join us at some other point later in the game from turn 2 onwards. Okay, so let's kick things off with Valix, my Warlock. So
Okay.
I'm going to cast some spells. So what we have from Valix is we're going to cast Marathon for 2, which gives him and all the models in his battle group sprint. So if I destroy a model with melee, I get to move back afterwards, or move in a direction afterwards. Okay, so Valix, that's an upkeep spell. Then we're going to cast Silence of Death. So that's going to be one of the rack spells for Chimera.
Okay.
That Valix has chosen to take. It's a damage buff, and we're going to put that onto the Shades over here, this character unit that we've got. Okay, now that we've put some upkeep spells in play, I'm going to move Valix forwards. Valix is someone who wants to be quite an aggressive warlock. He's got some drag weapons, he's quite a good assassin person.
Right.
So really wants to play as far up the field as he can. It's kind of playing on a knife edge of playing so close that you want to be able to assassinate, but not playing so close as to get him killed. So he's going to run. So he's got a speed of 7. So I can move my 7 inches up. I can move an additional 3 if I want to. But I'm just going to take cover behind this obstruction, like so.
Yeah.
Like that. So I can just peek out next to him if I need to. Take up the 0 points for Valix. Okay, next we're going to go with Aclis. So Aclis is a character war beast. It's kind of like a character Vipex. So you've seen your regular Vipexes that you can build with Impaler arms, and we're going to get your Hunter's Mark from within Chimera. And Aclis is a character version of that war beast. Does quite a bit of damage and has some different abilities. So what we're going to use with Aclis is going to be Caustic Mist. So after moving up my speed of 6, should move up like so. Not quite getting the benefit of that trench, that's fine. Has an animus called Caustic Mist, so I can put a 3-inch AoE down because unlike a lot of war beasts, Aclis actually has a control area, which means I can put something down within a distance of Aclis.
Okay.
So I can put this down anywhere within that control area of 8, and I'm going to put this cloud here like this. Well, that means it's going to be a line of sight blocking element. So
yeah.
Now there's kind of an element here where the ranged actually hopefully not hit Valix as much. And then
so that makes sense because obviously an animus ability is a spell that could be used by the warlock as well.
Exactly.
So warlock has control range, so it makes sense it has to have a control range for the rule system. Cool. Okay. So you've already moved forward and you've blocked some lines of sight.
So that would normally cost Aclis 3 Fury to cast as an animus, but has innate power, so cast minus 1 cost.
Okay.
It only costs 2 Fury.
It will be 3 if, say, your warlock was going to cast it.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Correct, you've got it. Okay. Something we're always quite careful of is how many clouds you can put down in a turn to create like a massive cloud wall.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you roll really well with Vulcal, you get 6 of them down, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay, once we've done that, we're going to be moving these shades up. So these shades quite fast as well. They're essentially speed 7. I'm just going to double check that.
And again, they've got flight, so they can move over terrain.
They do indeed. So there's a rough terrain here. They're going to be passing straight over that. Now they do have stealth, so they're going to have some innate resistance to range attacks. They can move up their first up their 7, and then they can move an additional 5 because they're running.
So you said they got stealth, so that makes me think you're going to be popping something on them to give them some concealment.
So prowl would be what would need to be sort of triggered to then give them stealth.
Oh,
stealth is,
they've got stealth already. Okay, yeah, good point. Sorry.
All good. So that means that they basically any ranged attacks from further than 5 inches away from them are going to miss to begin with. So we've moved up one of the shades to begin with. Place the other 2 within 2 inches. Rather nice. Up here behind this rock.
Wow, you're playing quite far forward.
Well, I did say that the Shard Nocturnes like to play sort of quite aggressively.
Yeah.
So they're going to lose some models on the way in.
Sure.
Because they're trying to generate opportunities to go and do things with the models that are left. So you've got to make some careful choices about which models do you throw forwards, which models you're going to keep back for later use.
Wow.
Okay, then we have, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Pythia, Pythia. And she does 2 things. She's like an arcane support for Valak, so I can have cheaper upkeeps. And also is a channeler, so I can actually channel spells through Pythia as if she's an Arcanode.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's just going to roll. She's not quite as resilient to damage as other things, so we're just going to put her in this trench up here. Hopefully she can get a shot at. She doesn't have stealth, so hopefully the trench cover will help her out as well.
Brilliant.
And that's my first turn.
That's your first turn. Right. Okay, so I've got 6 Fury already on. I'm learning the names here, so everyone's going to have to bear with me. Yeah, and we've got the beastie there. So let's see how far Chum can move. Chum has a movement of. Oh, it's on there on my other screen. Movement speed of 5. So that means there's potentially room for a charge there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get up and close with that.
One of the help things about Warmachine, obviously, if
we can pre-measure. Yeah,
have a look at these things.
So speed 5, going to be 8.
And that giant flare that's got a 2-inch mana zone.
That's a good point. So yeah, I think that's good for a charge at the shades. Okay, so we will force him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want to do anything with my spells beforehand, though, do I? Maybe I do, because you said he's got, in his rack spells, with our Warlock, being, again, Commodore Foulblood, he's got Fortune, which would cost 2, and so if I activate him first, mostly makes more sense, because that will allow him to re-roll missed attacks, and each can only be re-rolled once. So yeah, I think that makes more sense. So we'll start with Foulblood, we'll spend 2, and we will put on Fortune.
Yeah, and Chum's got quite a good mat. He's mat 7, I believe, so he's likely to miss, but it's good to make sure of it. Yeah,
and I mean, if he's got range 2, I could get, if I get the charge right, it might work. We're going to learn as we go with these things.
Yeah.
And then what else have we got? We've got Rough Seas. That's really only going to be good against ranged attacks here, and you're not really a ranged army.
I've got a couple. So the shades have got low short range daggers. I actually have quite a few short range weapons. Actually thinking about it so there's a couple of sort of thrown daggers I've got here. Vax can throw his sword and then drag you back in with them, and then Akeless actually has a spray as well. So there's a couple of bits and pieces.
Instead, then, I think that would be enough on that. Does he? He's got his own spells already that aren't his rack. He's got Blur. So that one with Fortify, that is an upkeep spell, so I can't put Blur on him as well because obviously you can only have one upkeep spell at a time. Fortify target model spellcaster's battle group gains +2 armor. That model, again, that's another upkeep. So he cannot be knocked down. But he has Stumbling Drunk, which means he can't be knocked down. So that kind of benefit is kind of wasted on him then. So let's go with spending those two, and we will put Fortify on them, because that makes sense. They're going to run forward and be in a position to do some shooting, but obviously they're going to most probably be in a position of also getting charged. So let's just prepare them for that. And that leaves 2 on him there. We want to be into a good position to do stuff. And Foulblood's speed is 6. So let's move 6 inches. Then let's move. It's going to be -2, so it's going to be 4 actually.
I missed something. Fortify can only be cast on a model in the model's battle group.
In the model's battle group. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, we'll put it on himself then. Makes sense, because I don't want him to get. The last thing we need is my Warlock being taken out in one go. So you're not going to be able to be in a position to charge him straight away. So I'm quite happy with him there for now. He's quite tough, obviously, being a Trollblood with tough and 17 hit points is quite good, quite decent armor. Okay, so that's himself, and he's boosted himself up, and the War Beast Chum. So I think Chum will do his charge. As we said, his speed was 5, so it's going to go up to 8. So we'll go for that model there. So that's not 9 would be there with his flail. So I basically need to get. I can easily get to. I want to be outside of 2 inches of him.
Yeah.
So he needs to be in a straight line so he doesn't clip the terrain. So yeah, that makes sense.
So you got it.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. So he's being forced to run forward, or charge forward, sorry. And then he's going to attack, which is going to involve his... now he's out of range of his Deep Viper, which is that lovely little creature in his left hand, but he does have his Mind Flail.
Yes.
So that's a melee attack rating of 8, and it's got Warhead. So if he also hits with it, and when this model directly hits a model, it causes enemy models within 2 inches also to be hit with an unboostable power 10. So that's quite a good way of hitting them.
This whole unit, actually.
Yeah. That's really good. Okay, cool. So melee attack rating of 8. What is their defense?
15, so you need a 7 hit.
7 hit, but I'll be re-rolling.
Yes.
It's really not worth not worth forcing to get a re-roll on this. It's better to buy extra attacks at this rate. And while I think I'll do that after, because he's got quite an interesting animus I've not seen before. So let's roll to hit. And I've got a 7, so he's hit.
Yes.
It's a power 8. Is that right? Power 18.
That is correct, yes. So the shades are only armor 13, so you have already killed this model.
Oh, dice minus dead.
Okay. Just missed at this point. So you got your Warhead rolls on these 2 other shades.
Okay, great. And these are unboostable, so their power, we said, was power 10, and sorry, you said their armor was 13. So it's dice minus 3 on this dice roll. So that's going to be
2 damage there.
2 damage on that one.
Yep.
And on the second one, it's going to be 1 point damage.
Okay. Fantastic.
And that's quite useful because obviously I've taken that unit out of coherency, so they have to make some, when they do movement, they'll be having to make movement to bring them back into 2-inch coherency.
No, it's actually fine. So as soon as because unit movement is a single model, as soon as one of them moves, the other one will literally place the 2 inches. Okay,
good. Is there anything else I can do with that fighter? No, because I can't move up to anyone.
Could have his animus.
Yeah, I've got his animus to pull off, like I said, the excessive healing, so I will force it for that, which will mean for the round, so it goes in for this rest of this tournament, obviously into your turn, he will have excessive healing, which means after an attack is resolved, he heals D3 damage. So that means even if he gets put down to 0 hit, does that happen with tough as well? If he gets put down to 0 hit points?
Yeah, so War Beasts don't tend to have tough, but yeah, even if it was reduced to 0 hit points by an attack to exactly 0, if you then rolled the D3 and then got 1 or 2 back, you'd be able to go off. But if you went sort of miles past that, But because it's for every attack, if I'm going to hit you 4 or 5 times, that's 4 or 5 times. You'll get a D3 heal.
That is very interesting. That is very interesting. Wow, that's going to be really hard to kill. And he also does he have also? Let me just check. He also has snacking. So when he, in the case of killing just then, he could have healed some health from that. Obviously doesn't need that, and also has hyper regeneration. How on earth do you going to kill this war beast? In that case, then I'm going to need. We've got 2 there. I'm going to have to rile him for another 2, so I can then leech off him at the start of the next turn. So I think that was relatively okay, and just shows how that flail works. And then I need to think about the rest of the team. There's some really interesting stuff with the brothers. So I think I'll go with them first. So we will have them move their speed of 6. There we go. So let's get up to the wall, because that will give us some extra defense. And once we've moved up, their benefit of gang is only obviously relevant in melee. They've got Sanguine Bond, which we'll get to when that finally pops off. But they have got heavy rifles. So we're just going to have to shoot at, I think, well, they can all shoot at different targets, which is the good thing.
They can. So because we've got stealth on the shades, the shots there would automatically miss.
Yes.
And Valak's is defended by the obstruction and the clouds preventing line of sight.
So it makes sense just to go for the arcane support there.
Yes, you could shoot Pythia. She's got cover. Aclis, I don't know if you're range of Aclis, but you could shoot Aclis.
I've got a 12-inch range. Let's just have a look. I might be able to. And the power 12. What's the armor on the war beast?
17. So you can bits and pieces.
Yeah. Well, they're all in range of all of those. So I think we'll go. Well, technically, no, because the cloud is there in the way of 2 of them.
Sure.
So these 2 will obviously have to shoot at the your arcane support there.
Okay.
So we've got a range shot rating of 6, and that means the defense on that character is.
So she's going to have an improved defense by 4 because she's in cover.
Yeah.
Pythia's defense on her own is 14. She's going to be 18 in there.
18. Oh dear, I need a 12. Well, we may as well try it. Push our luck. It's on the first one, no, and on the second one, it is a no. But this third shot, we will go at the war beast.
So Aclis is defense 14.
Yeah. So a little bit better odds there. That means I need 8, which is a hit, and it's a power 12.
So the dice off 5 because I'm on a 17, and then if you roll a column die as well.
Yeah. So dice minus 5. So that's going to be 3 damage on column 3.
Okay. There we go.
So a little bit of damage, but at least the main point is they're in cover, ready to do something next turn, because they're quite a defensive unit as well.
Yeah, there's a lot here that's
hard to shift.
It's all very resilient and hard to destroy.
Yeah. And then we have got our little Albatross and Mr. Boggs. So Mr. Boggs has got a speed of 6. So I think let's deal with Sully the Albatross, because it's got a range of 6 of a weapon. And it's an AoE and has fly high and a whole load of other things in there as well, and annoyance. Okay, so yeah, we'll deal with the Albatross first. Movement 7. Let's just use that so we can figure out where that's going to be. And I can ignore the terrain. Yeah, we want to be able to be in a position to claim this bit of terrain. So, and I can ignore the terrain with the shooting because it's sky dropped. And I'm close enough because I'm within 5 because of the stealth.
Yeah, so there's flying high as well. So what's the range of the weapon actually?
It's range 6.
Okay, so yeah, so you'd be -3 range because of flying high that's on the elite cadre.
Yeah.
But you're within 3 inches, then you're within 5 to see me, so you're actually.
Oh right, okay. That's how those interact. Is you got to be within the range for the then it's essentially you've got it's 2 thresholds of
It is.
ranges to be within.
That's it.
Interesting. Okay, so that's a rage attack rating of 6, and the defense on these
15. So I don't get cover because it's sky drops. So just the base defense 15.
Okay, so I need a 9, which I don't get,
Close.
but it's an AoE,
Yes.
so it's going to be power 8.
Okay.
And there's anything else? When this model, oh, that's when it's destroyed. Okay, power 8, and the armor on this?
It's 13, so that's a 5.
No, but more importantly, it's onto the objective to contest it there. And then we've got our friend here, Mr. Boggs. Now, I feel like Mr. Boggs is at the right end of the board because he's a bit of a monster hunter. However, he does have spray, which is quite good. And I could actually, and this is quite interesting, he could move quite happily with a speed of 6 to there and still take that shot with a spray weapon because he has the ability of clear, which means ranged attacks against friendly models automatically miss.
Yes.
So his spray just goes straight past the Albatross.
Correct. Yeah.
And well, the Albatross is flying anyway in some respects, so narratively it makes sense.
Yeah.
And will hit the shades.
Absolutely.
It's going to be it's a spray of 10, so there is, I guess there's the chance it could go far enough and hit the other one as well.
So because you're targeting a flying high model, it will be a -3 range. So you'll still hit this shade.
But not the other one. Okay.
7 rather than a 10.
Okay. Yeah. But that's useful to know in future if they didn't have that you could quite happily block with, oh wow, you can quite happily block the War Beast and shoot through it.
Absolutely. As long as you can see the target you're trying to shoot at. Like you just see around the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Shoot through your models, no problem.
So that's going to be a rage shot rating of 7, and we said the defense on these was 15, so needs an 8. Unfortunately, not quite. And that's basically his turn done.
There's an extra little ability on his Dex Weaver though. I think it's at the end of the bottom of the gun. So when he fires it, he gets thrown backwards a little bit.
Oh yes, he does. He gets, after the attack of this weapon is resolved, he's pushed back D3 +1. Excellent. So he's going back. He's going back 4 inches from the recoil of the shot.
So you're straight into that wall.
Yeah. So he stops there. That's yeah, that is curious. It allows you to run forward quite happily with him and take a shot and then get a free retreat, as it were.
Exactly.
Fun. I guess that's the end of my turn.
It is.
Oh well, I've killed something.
You have.
We're not scoring any points just yet,
No.
but that's going to happen this turn.
It is.
So we've got our maintenance phase for you and your control phase.
So the animus from last turn expires. That'll be the caustic mist, and then I'm taking in my fury from my war beasts. So I'll take 2 off Aclis. Now Valix has 6 fury, so I'm going to take 2 health points from Aclis, some from Valix himself to generate my other 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at that point, I'm going to decide whether I want to keep my upkeeps. Now, we have Marathon and we have Sounds of Death. Now, luckily, one of these I can get for free because I have Eye Fear here. As long as she's within 5 inches of your walk at the start of the turn, you don't have to pay the cost of one of your upkeeps.
Right.
The other one I'm going to have to pay for, so I'll take a few points for that one because I want to keep both of them in play. The Sounds of Death. Considering how much we've just seen, how resilient and ridiculous rules of how resilient she is, I'm going to need some armor cracking.
He's going to make Cadre armies very jealous with that resilience there.
Absolutely. Okay, so then on top of that, last thing at the start of the turn is that I'm going to bring Regulus onto the table.
I totally forgot about that model.
So it's going to be coming in from here, and you can. So when that ambushing model comes in, they come on from the side of the table, so come on from the other side as well. Completely within 3 inches of the edge. Now I have to forfeit my movement or action this turn, so he's not going to do a ton this turn, but he's in now a much more aggressive position for what I want to do in the future.
And definitely for taking that objective is clearly lined up. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, so where we're going to go from here? I think I need to try and put some kind of damage on either to Chum or onto those Lockerbash brothers behind the wall. They're all looking quite scary. So I think what we're going to do is we'll have Pythe's going to come forward. So I need her to contest this objective. So I'm going to try and sort of multitask with her a little bit. Because what I'd like to do is channel a spell through her from Valix onto Chum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move her up so that she's within 2 inches of this objective over here. And I want her to be within 8 inches of Chum at the same time. Okay.
You know what she's giving me vibes of is what was in the Scorn army? who also was a good channeler and sort of an attachment to a warlock.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's a while ago.
Yeah, had a missing eye. I can't remember his name, but he was always fun for exactly these same sort of tricks.
Optimus Marker?
That's the one. Always went well with Hexerus.
Yes, indeed. Try and dig into the archives there.
Yeah, right. But good, definitely a good comparison. Yeah.
The other one would be the spell slaves that you can have with Legion of Overlight.
Yes. Yeah.
Spells through them. Okay, so we're going to go with Valak now. So Valak is going to cast Curse of Shadows. This is another rack spell.
Okay.
So this is going to cost me 3. And then I've got to actually hit Chum. So let's see what their arcane attack is, which is 6. So what's Chum's defense?
Oh, his defense is 11.
11, okay. So I only need a 5 to hit him, but I really would like to hit this. So I'm going to spend another Fury to boost it.
Yep.
Okay. So then we're going to get the hit. So that's going to put me a Curse of Shadows onto Chum. It's going to help Whoops. Let me deal a little bit more damage there. Okay, that's going to be Valak's done, I think. Now I might just pull back a little bit because I don't want his head to get blown off by those little Crash Brothers. Next turn. Okay, so that's Valak's done. I think what we're going to do next is we're going to have the Shades go. So the Shades are going to charge at Chum for me. So what I'm going to do, that means, because I'm charging with the units, I pick one of the models. None of them are engaged right now, so they shouldn't have any problems. Move at least 3 inches. Now, what I want to do here is I'm going to try to pin Chum in a little bit. The reason being is because he's got this rule called Stumbling Drunk.
Yeah.
Which means that each time I hit him, he's going to be able to sort of push D3 away as he's sort of hit by the attack, calming up down, he's going to stumble backwards. So the thing is, if I continue to hit him, then he's going to continue to just walk further and further away until I can't hit him anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, you need to pinball him around the your unit. That makes sense.
Yeah. So okay. So what I might actually do is, well, I could actually do something quite comical. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. So what we're going to do is have the shades move like this, and we'll have this shade go first. So I've got Sound to Death on them, so they're going to hit a little bit harder, and here we go. So they've got Serpent's Fangs. So these guys are mat 7, but they also have something called Fortune Hunter on the entire unit. So Fortune Hunter means this model, so all of them, will gain an additional die on attack and damage rolls against character models. And because we're playing with cadres, everyone's
character.
So they're going to get 3 dice on the hit roll.
That's rough.
Which is hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Now this is how we're going to put a little bit of damage through on Chum. So their power is where's it gone now? It's 11 for the thrown Serpent's Fang. It's a melee one because they use the same weapons in melee in range of moves. Also 11. Okay. So the power 11. What's Chum's armor? Right,
so his armor is 19.
Okay. And then my power is boosted up to 13 because I've got Sound to Death.
Okay.
And your armor is reduced by 2 because of Curse of Shadows.
Wow.
So your armor's going to be 17, and it's going to be dice minus 4 for me.
Yeah.
And then because I'm also a Fortune Hunter, I'm going to get an additional damage roll.
Yeah, so you've got the +1 for charging on the damage roll, and you've got the +1. Is it so the Fortune Hunter is you get an extra die but remove the lowest? No, it's just
an extra die. So they also have Critical Heart Seeker. So if I roll the crit on hit,
choose the spiral as well.
No, that's the
oh no.
So if I'd rolled, so here's how it's going to work. I may have overdone this. So I've got 2 dice for damage roll normally, 1 for the charge, 1 for Fortune Hunter, and if I'd roll the crit on the attack roll, I'd roll a 5th damage die and then remove the lowest.
Wow.
From Heart Seeker. Didn't get the crit, so just 4 dice this time.
That probably takes me that unit.
Yeah. So that, cool, yeah, that's just going to be nice and stable 14 damage to the 5.
14 damage to the 5. Okay. Let me, because we're using, we're kind of MS painting the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5. So maybe no. Bear with me because we're working with obviously. So was it 14?
It was 14.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so that means His entire spirit is taken out, so he can't be forced.
Brilliant.
But
Yes.
we're going to get to that.
Indeed.
And obviously, he's taken damage to his mind.
Yes.
But after that attack, I get to roll a D3, and that's how much damage he essentially regenerates with his excessive healing.
That's it.
Gets back 1.
And you can choose where that goes.
Yeah, exactly. So if I, hopefully there's a way of like scrubbing the, no, there isn't a way of scrubbing it. I am going to just have to recolor dots. So I'm going to put one back on spiral 4 so he can now be forced again.
Sure.
Because he knocked out the entire segment.
Okay, and then we've got stumbling jump to resolve as well.
Yes.
So, if you roll the D3, we'll see how far you get moved away.
3 inches. 3 inches.
Yeah, okay.
Please go really far away from people.
Yeah, so that would be directly away from me, so you're going to be going that way.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, I think he's there.
Yep.
But you're still within range with the other fighter.
Absolutely. So I played a dangerous game here because what I was thinking was if you'd rolled like a 1 or a 2 on the stumbling drunk, I might be able to knock you a bit that way and then send him this way. The next one.
Yeah, but now if you're going to do anything,
It's not
he's
gonna-
going to stop against the wall.
Absolutely. So it's not going to quite work for me. Okay, so something else that the Shades have is they have dual attack like Warbeast, so they can make ranged and melee attacks.
Oh, yes.
And they have thrown Serpent's Fangs, and those are range 8. So I can also make another attack, and I can hit one of the or I can try and hit one of the Bash Brothers. Now the thing is they're obviously quite high defense because they're going to be behind a wall.
Okay.
So I think their defense is, I want to say it's 13 normally.
Let me have a look for you. Yeah, so defense is 13, so it's going to be a 17.
That's correct.
Wall.
17. So I'm going to need to roll a 10 because my rat is 7. But I do get an extra die because of Fortune Hunter.
Okay.
So I managed to get a hit.
Wow.
I don't get the benefit for Sounds of Death on my ranged attacks, so it's just a straight damage roll of 11. But I do get an extra die for Fortune Hunter.
Okay.
What's the armor of?
The armor is 14.
Now, that at first seems like they're really easy to damage, but this is where.
We're going to see that Sanguine Bond comes into play here.
Indeed. So that'll be, or not, as it is. So I only rolled 4, so I only put 1 point damage on.
1 point damage. We will mark with, let's just use a token, just for a point of damage. So as you know, as you point out, that Sanguine Bond means really we're kind of just marking a point of damage for the entire unit in a way, because that we can get away with doing that because they can spread the damage between them. So if we'd taken, say, 4 damage on that, I could have put 2 on the first model and then 1 point on each of the other models for a total of 4 damage.
Absolutely.
They're hard to shift.
They are indeed. I'm going to give it a go, though. Okay, so, and then there's where.
Back to the next close combat attack of this fighter, right?
Indeed,
Because
yes.
you've done the close combat and shooting attack on that one.
Yeah, the first part of it. There's
There's still more.
But wait, there's more. So there's an ability on the thrown daggers called Ricochet. So
Yes.
once I've hit a model, I can then pick another model within 4 inches and make another attack against that model.
Okay.
Effectively, it's using all the same stats, same statistics. It also means that if you've got models that are really far away, you could hit something close and then bounce the damage roll.
Nice.
To what you normally would be too far away to hit.
That's very cool.
So in this case, I'm going to hit another Locker Bash Brother. So they're still behind one museum nearby. There's a defensive 17 because of the cover. That's a miss. So now we are actually back to the other shade.
Right. Okay.
So the charge attack from the shade here. So I'm at 7. Additional die for Fortune Hunter because it's a character. We hit. No crit. The Heartseeker. So 2 dice damage on the charge attack roll melee. A charge die and Fortune Hunter. And then and it back on. So that will be another 9 damage to the 3.
9 damage to the 3. Okay. Let me get the right spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And then I'll heal some. Only 1. Let's be sensible and regenerate on the. Let's regenerate on the spirit.
Yes. You want to be able to force.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And then I don't think you'll go far, but we do have another roll for.
Yes, let's roll that. So was it D3?
Yes.
So it's going to be 3. It's just going to contact wall.
That's it. Now, I only have a melee range of 1, and you're engaging me because you have your flail.
Yeah.
So I can still shoot, but because you're engaging me, I can only shoot a chunk.
Yes.
Because you were still in a combat. Now, This attack doesn't have pistol, so it's not particularly good at shooting.
So it's going to be -4 to hit then.
Correct. So your defense is actually going to be 15, effectively, which is quite high for Chum. But I do get my die for fortune still.
Sure.
Still a chance I can hit. And so I'm going to do my Throne Serpent's dagger, so I need an 18, which I get. And then it's going to be a power 11 damage roll. Your armor is 17 because of Curse of Shadows. It's a dice -6. I still get the fortune hunter dice. So that will be 3 damage to the 1 column.
3 damage. I'm going to roll the D3 first to see if I even need to bother with this.
Sure.
It's going to be 2 damage to column 1.
Yeah.
So that's 1. And then let's do the right column. 1, 2. There we go.
Okay. And then the ricochet, just as from the first shade, is going to hit one of Rockabash brothers.
Okay.
So that again, I need a 17 because you're behind the cover. So I need a 10 total, Kanarata 7, and defense 17.
Yeah.
I get a hit. And then it's power 11. So it will be the dice off 3 on Rockabash brother. That's going to be
Yeah, because armor 14.
9 damage.
9 damage. Okay. Now they've got 10 damage total, but so that's 9 damage. That means I've got 10 damage on them as a total across 30. So I should do. Let's see. If I put. It mostly makes sense to put 2. I'm essentially distributing the 10 damage across them. So then let's put 3. So that's 9 in total. And there's the one that was already on them up on him.
Makes
Because
sense.
he's not close. Then he's not the easy kill closest to them. Wow. Okay, that was just them attacking. We still got more to go.
We do. So so at the end of their turn, they've got something called reposition 3. So each model there in that unit can move 3 inches. So this is really good for units that have charged in and you want to come back and contest their objectives still. So for example, I can move him back here. This guy though is going to be too close to really escape you properly. So he's just going to come and give you something to attack next turn. Okay. So that's the shades complete. So I think we'll then do we'll have a look at Regulus. Now Regulus has got a super achievement called Espionage, but that's going to be an action to use, and I can only use it on your leader. Basically, lets me have a free move or something.
Okay.
That's not going to come into play this turn. So he's just going to kind of position. It's kind of his like super play that he wants to get off at some point during the game. So he's kind of just hanging around until we can sort that out. So let's go speed of 7.
Oh, sorry.
So he's just going to pop himself over into this trench over here. And then hopefully it can be a bit more dangerous next turn. It should be threatening. And then the last thing we're going to do is, I think Achelous is going to get ready to have a run at Chum next turn. So we'll just come up a little bit here and put another caustic mist down, I think, just to make sure Alex is protected.
There we go, the costs.
Yes, it does. Yes, it costs 2 fury for Achelous.
Okay.
Okay. And then at the end of the turn, some scoring comes in.
Yes.
So we'll have. I did have 2 models.
But you only have 1, so that's not scored.
But I score 1 point for this objective here.
Yes.
I've got Alex. And I've got
And it's a 3-inch range, isn't it, for scoring? So that one's not scored there, and I am just out of range with
the dex we just took him out of there. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 point.
Great. Okay. So it'll be my turn to tidy up in my maintenance phase, like upkeeps, and then figure out where I'm even beginning to attack or heal anything. I mean, right now, Chum's looking pretty bashed up, but this coming turn, he's going to actually be able to potentially heal quite a lot. So it's not doom and gloom for him, really.
Yeah, it looks like at first it looks bad, but actually he's going to get a lot of health back. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. Okay, so start of my turn. We've just replaced those to make health easier to track on them. Okay, so maintenance phase. I've got no cloud effects to deal with.
No.
Then I have upkeeps and leeching. So let's leech those off there. For a total of 6. Now, do we need to keep fortune up as an upkeep on him? That's for the rerolls. It most probably which probably makes a bit of sense to keep it going for the 1, just because we want to guarantee some kills. And then we've got, I forget what his... Fortify, yeah. Which, +2 armor, can't be knocked down. Okay. And then he's also got his rack spell.
So his other rack spells, so with...
Blur is defense against ranged and arcane attacks, not so good against this. Fortify we've already got. He's got the
Fortune, Perdition,
and Rough Sea. Perdition and models damage. That's 5 directly towards them. Interesting. I feel like Perdition would have possibly been a better one to have cast first, but the main thing I am thinking of is, because I totally forgot, is that Foulblood has battle plan abilities. So he really should have done something last time where he put something on one of the units there. So this time round, he is going to put he's going to trigger open bar. So I'm going to start with Foulblood. He's going to trigger open bar on
I think it should everything within 10. Every warrior model.
Oh yeah, it's sorry. Wrong. Well, within 10 of this model, friendly living faction models with a large or smaller base gain stumbling drunk. So it's exactly the same as what Chum has.
Yes.
So as they get hit, they will move D3 away from that target.
Correct.
But the reason I'm doing that is I will trigger that first, and he also has stumbling drunk already. So now everyone is drunk on the board, which is a great bit of character for the faction there. But then I'm going to trigger Happy Hour, which is his feat, which is that friendly warrior models with stumbling drunk, so gain +3 armor, and that also means when a friendly model, so that's any of them that have stumbling drunk, which they will, as long as they stay within 10 inches of him, they do have that, they will get to choose the direction they're going to be pushed in when they get hit by and stumbling drunk triggers. That essentially means then for the next turn when you hit them, I could basically position in a way that is useful for me or may even negate some further attacks from you. So that's going to be, and also it means they're boosted on armor. He's a council warrior.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The only model on this table that are not warriors is Chum and Akos.
Yeah. So that's good for them to have that boosted armor. Then we can actually get round to his hard work. So, like I said, I've upkept one spell, which was that one. Do I want to upkeep the other one, which was the Fortify?
Well, it'll go quite well with your feat because it's an additional armor stat.
Yeah, I can get stuck in. That's a good point. So at that point, it makes sense that he should really make some room for Chum here, and I think it makes sense to just. I think I'm too close for a charge there.
You could go to the side.
Yeah.
Because you have to go straight.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So I'll charge to there, stay within 1 inch, and then let's attack. So we've got his Siren Song.
Yep.
Which is a melee attack rating of 7. And we said the defense on them was
15. It's quite
15. High. So I am going to have to boost this attack roll.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I said 45 we're going to upkeep. That would have gone as well. I think 1, 2, 3.
Should have 3 left. Now you boosted.
Yeah. Okay, so boosting the attack roll. Melee attack rate is 7. So that's going to be a total of 14, 15, 16. So that's a hit.
It is. Just before you do the damage, just read the ability on the sword.
Oh yeah.
Something quite funny might happen.
After this attack has resolved, take control of target living enemy non-leader warrior model hit by this attack. You can immediately make a full and fat. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I should have read that. With the enemy model, followed by a basic attack. Then the witch expires and you can only do this once per turn. So that will actually mean, even if I don't kill them,
Yes.
they're going to move away.
Yes, and you could. Now, the reason I said it's funny is because you could kill the shade, or maybe you won't. We'll see with the attack. But even, whether you do or don't, you can have this shade move and attack this shade.
Yes. That's really good, and that's you can immediately make a full advance. Okay, cool. But it's after the attack is resolved, so
Correct.
that means if they do die, they're dead. So I won't be able to get that 'cause after the attack is resolved.
May I have a read? Good point. Yeah. So if you don't, yeah. So basically, if you either kill it or you can take.
Either they're going to be dead or they're going to move away, which is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that damage. So it's power 14, and I've charged already, so it's boosted.
Yeah, it's dead. You're at dash +1. So
Okay, fine.
that's
Yeah. They're dead. That's a dead shade. But that's what we wanted to free up Chum. Then, do I have anything else I can do? Not really, because I don't have any offensive spells here, and I don't have a ranged attack with the Commodore. But that's okay. He's got a lot of extra armor or defense from the feats and spells in play on him.
You need to actually mark feet as well.
Yeah, mark feet on him is active. And I've got plenty of Fury left on him to redirect damage onto Chum. That is it, I think, at that point for him. So, I think it makes mostly a lot of sense for... We want to clear up that unit because they annoy me.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, we'll use the Albatross. We'll try again. We will move the Albatross into range there and perform the bombing attack, as it were. Sully's bomb. Range attack rating of 6. I think we said it needs a 9, was it, to hit the defense?
Yes, because you're at 6 and I'm defense 15. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a miss, but it's going to be power 8.
Nice of 5. There'll be another 2.
2.
On that.
That's okay. And then we can do Mr. Boggs. It's got its movement of 6, the speed of 6. So again, we can essentially get there and fire 10, which is going to be straight through, ignoring the Albatross as always with this. Range attack rating this time of 7. So I think it's at 8 now, isn't it? To hit?
Great.
That's cocked. No, misses with that, unfortunately, and he moves back again.
It does.
2 inches this time. Directly back. That's the front there. But that keeps him within 3 of there and 3. So that means it's pretty much a claimed objective there.
Yes.
Right. I'm kind of trying to ignore you right at the moment because you scare me a little, but maybe not. I think that may be a distraction at this point. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look at what the brothers can do. So I've got my set defense, which is good, but I've also got gang, which is also going to be rather useful. Sidestep is also good. Relentless charge, so they get to ignore difficult terrain with their Pathfinder. And their bayonet charge is a brutal charge, so it's +2 to damage rolls on the charge, and it's power 12. So I think and of course right now I've got the benefit of the extra armor going on, so I can kind of ignore the cover a bit, and I want to make sure I get this objective. So I'm going to charge after that.
I think, yep.
I think that's good.
Sounds good.
So the first brother though is within, but I can move at least 3 inches to there,
You can move sideways.
and then they can be placed within 2 inches, like so. Let's make it more dramatic. There we go. then I can start attacking with them. That's good.
So Pythia's defense 14.
Okay. Range attack rating then, melee attack rating of 6. So 14, 6. We're going to need we're going to need an 8, but as we said, they have got gang, so they're going to get +2 on that. So I'm actually going to need a 6 on each hit.
Correct.
So first fighter, let's also just make sure they've got their damage spread on them. First fighter needs a 4. Sorry, not 4, an 8. Sorry, too many numbers going around. We said defense, so we've got +2 in the charge, which gives them the effective of melee attack rate of 8. We said the defense was 14, didn't we?
Yeah, is Bruce charge attack roll or damage roll?
Bruce charge is on the damage roll. Their gang is giving them the +2 on the attack.
Yes. So it'll be 6 up to 8 units.
Yeah. So the first one's hit.
Right.
I'm going to roll each of the hits now, just so I know they've got them. Because they're only going to hit the one person here. Yeah.
Okay.
And then damage rolls are +2 on the damage roll, so that's going to be 3 dice in total with +2, so it's power 14.
Up to 16 because of gang.
Of course, gang is on the damage rolls as well, so it's up to a 16.
Very
Wow.
good. Tasty.
And the armor on this character?
14.
14. So it's dice +2 on this. Oh wow.
She's gone.
She's gone. A bit of overkill, but it gets me onto the objective, and they're going to be. I don't know. Even as a war beast, would you want to charge into that?
They're very difficult to remove. Right?
They were. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then they've also, because they've just killed, when this initial model hits an enemy model with initial attack or melee special attack, they can advance 2 inches after the attack is resolved.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense for them to move forward 2 inches towards the war beast, because then that's going to negate.
It'd be the one that did the attack.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Because then that's going to negate your charge bonus,
correct?
While also still sat on the objective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So that's them resolved, and then we're over to Chum. Now I think potentially Chum's got possibly a charge there against your war
You can
beast.
see A-class now.
Yeah.
Has Chum got Pathfinder by any chance? Because that wall's going to be
He's got speed 5. I don't think he's got Pathfinder though, unfortunately. No, he does not. So he's not going to be able to pull that off at this point. So I think it makes mostly more sense to go after the lone shade here and just clear things out. And also,
Nice. Oh, he's so close.
it's so close. No, and if I kill this, then it'll give me. I'll get to benefit from snacking.
You are.
I can actually stay 2 inches away, but I want both attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so the Great Maw will attack with first.
Mm-hmm.
Now that wasn't a charge because I had to move up. So, do I move enough for a charge? I would have been there. So yeah, it's enough to go all the way in. Just want to make sure of that, be fair. Melee attack rate of 8.
Charge.
Oh yes, of course, sorry.
And the Shades of Defense 15.
Defense 15.
And do you want to hit with the Warhead? Because I don't know if it will hit solely or not. I can't remember if that will. It might be just enemy models.
I think it's enemy models. Yeah, it's enemy models. Right. So the mind flails are fine.
Yeah.
But the Great Maw is good because it'll do critical consume as well. So even if it gets me past that. And I've got my fortune, which lets me to re-roll the attack. So do I really want to bother boosting this? So
if you throw an extra die, you've got a higher chance of hitting the critical.
A good point. So, and it's the only model I'm going to be fighting this turn, so I may as well go for the 3 dice on it. And it is a critical consume. I eat him, and that means. And the other thing we should have remembered is, of course, at the start of this turn, he would have regenerated. His mind was taken out, so it should have been 1 less die, but I would have regenerated beforehand. and that's D3. So let's just do that. So that's the 1. So then he would have still had the die on the attack. But just do the critical consume. So that's the snacking coming into play, which is going to be removing a further D3. Finally, some good dice rolling with healing. So we'll take back 1 on there and another 1 on the spirit there. And does that give me any other options for healing? No, because the excessive healing, I should rile for excessive healing for the round. So again, if I do get attacked, I'm going to at least have a chance to heal. And I've got 3 there, so I don't need to roll for anything else. So that's good.
Perfect.
And I think that is my turn done.
It's a very solid turn.
Yeah. So how many VPs we got there then? So I've got 1 point there.
You're going to score here.
And
you're going to score here as well.
Yeah.
You're contesting this, so I'm not going to score this. So you're going to score 2 points. So you're on 2 to my 1.
Okay.
All right.
Brilliant.
We'll go back to the Shard Nocturne turn.
Okay, before we get started that, I'll just check cameras have not shut off due to overheating or anything. Okay, great.
All right, so at the start of my next turn, this, of course, the mist is going to come off.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take 2 Fury from Akeless, and I'm going to take 3 more damage to get my full Fury on Velix. Okay, so I'm running a little bit low on models now. My shades are all gone, IP is gone.
It makes the victory point game for you challenging.
It does.
So
it's going to be a struggle for me to score those objectives now. So what I think I'm going to have a look at whether I can just get to Foul Blood. Now it's going to be really difficult to kill because he's fortified and has his feet up.
yeah, let's just go through what his total, what you're up against. So fortified on him is giving him +2 armor.
Yeah.
Then he's got Stumbling Drunk in play.
Yeah.
With the feet, which gives him +3. So he's on +5 armor.
Yep, yep.
So he's on armor 21.
That's pretty tasty.
That's Cador Heavy Warjack territory.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna have a go. So
that's all you can do.
Indeed. So I'm gonna upkeep Mirage because I've got a fun idea which might work and help me. I have to pay for it now because Mikey is dead.
Yes.
I'm gonna let Curse of Shadows on Chum go though because it's Chum's not my target for this.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to have Akeless go. Now I don't think Akeless is unstoppable, so I'm going that Lock of Ash Brother there is going to be a bit of a problem for me. Yeah, okay. So I need to, because I can't leave melee with this Lock of Ash Brother because I'll lose my combat action.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a very good move there to make sure that's locked down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Akeless into
as many as you can.
As many as possible, basically, to attack you. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to force for Entropic Presence, which basically gives Akeless Ruin. So every model now within 5 inches of friendly enemy has -2 armor.
Ah, excellent counter to the Stumbling Drunk feat.
Yeah, it's going to make you a little bit more difficult to a little bit easier to damage, hopefully. Okay, so now that we've got that up, let's start making some attacks. So I'm going to use my spray first, Corrosive Spittle. So actually, no, because I could probably use that if you Stumbling Drunk away from me. So I might save that one until later. So instead, I'm going to use the Corrosive Bite. So that's going to be Nat 7. And what's the defense level?
Defense 13.
I need a 6 to hit you. So that will be a hit. That's going to be Power 11. And then what's your armor?
So the armor is normally 14.
Yep.
Would have +3 from the feet Stumbling Drunk combo, but -2 due to your
ruin. Yeah. So yeah, 15 total, I think.
Yeah.
So that'll be 4 on my dice. I'm going to boost that. No, I'm not going to boost that. There's a reason for that later. Okay, so that will be 1 damage.
1 damage. So we'll just pop.
So I think I'm going to do a huge amount. Okay, and then what we're going to do next is we use the Toxic Stinger. So this is going to be Nat 7, hit the same model again. That's going to be a hit. This one's power 13, so it goes up to 15 because we're in.
Okay, so it's just dice damage.
So I did the plus and minus in different ways. So it's power 13, your armor is going to be 17, but 15 because of ruins. Dice off 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I did the math differently. That'll be 5 more damage.
5 more damage. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 there, and then put another one there. That's 5. So that's 2.
Oh, Also remember not done the stumbling block moves.
Oh, okay. So was it? Sorry, how much was it? 5 damage.
5 damage. Yeah.
So I'll put 2 there. I'll put 2 there, and another one there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, going back, that one was the first one he hits. That has to do with stumbling drunk.
Yeah.
Which is going to be D3. So it's 2 inches, but this time I get to pick the direction because of the feet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I want to stay engaged or not? That's a tricky question.
I have 2 more fury I can buy attacks with, and I still have my ranged attack as well.
And you still have your range attack. And the range of the close combat weapons you have?
So the Toxic Sting is range 2. The Bite is 1, but I've used that one already.
Yeah. Okay, so I think, it makes mostly, I think it makes sense just to move back, really. There isn't much more I can do. And just stay within range of the objective. And then this one, we just have to roll.
And he's probably going to hit that rock there.
But someone's I get to pick direction, so I'm just going to just move back to there.
Fooled again.
And then you've got your remaining. You've got your shooting attack.
I do.
But you're engaged. You have.
So I have to use it on this model.
Yes.
Because the one that's engaging me. Okay, so this one does have pistol, which means I don't get the penalty for shooting a melee.
Okay.
And my wrath is 7, so I need a 6 to hit you.
Yes.
Which will be a miss. Okay, so at that point I'm going to force the War Beast for another attack, which will be the Toxic Stinger. That's going to be Mat 7 as a hit, and I'm going to boost the damage on that actually, so that I can roll additional damage die, because there's a good chance you could just leave melee here. It might be the last chance I've got to hit you. So that'll be dice off 2. It's not flat, come on, be flat. There we go. Whoa, good roll. Okay, so that will be a healthy 12.
12 damage. So I may as well let that model, because I mean, there's no way to. Oh, I might have got 10. Let me just think about the 5.
It's an interesting choice because, like you said, you probably could take it all, but if you do that, you're not going to have a lot of health left across your models.
But
5 here, 5 there, and 4.
Yeah,
there.
so I could maximise 4, 4, and 4. So one of them, if you spread it that way, one would die. 5. I don't think there's a way to spread it that one of them doesn't die.
I agree. I think they still have tough though as well.
Yeah, they'll still have tough. So it makes sense that just allow that fighter to take it, and I do a tough roll.
So you go up to a full of 7 or 8 technically, and then if you pass the tough roll, you get 1 back.
The health is 10.
You're correct.
That's why.
Is it full 10?
Yeah. So I'll do the tough roll on a 5. It's a 5/6 on tough roll, isn't it? Yeah. So that's top. Sorry. No, so he's dead.
Okay.
So, but that's it. That's it's an interesting thing because it just shows that though you can spread that damage, it does make sense to sometimes just take it on the chin and hope for a tough roll. And if they're dead, then you've just soaked a load of damage that you don't have on them. So
correct. It's where little bits of chip damage, maybe spread it around. Take a huge damage roll like you just did. It's probably better to just let one model take it.
They're quite cool.
Yeah. I was hoping for that, however, because now I get to trigger marathon. So I can now do a sprint move at the end of my activation.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Aclis.
You're going to try and shoot.
Not at all, no. So he's going to have no more attacks left, but I might be close enough now to have Ruin on your Warlock.
Right.
So now if I can get Valak's there, then I've got. It's still going to be difficult to kill you.
Oh yeah, because it's a -2 on the armor versus my +5 total.
Right. So it'll help a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have to figure out how to get Valak's to Foul Blood. This is where Regulus is going to come in and help me.
Right.
Okay. So what I need to do, if I'm able to, is if I can get Regulus within 8 inches of both Valak's and Foul Blood, which is going to be a little bit of trigonometry.
Warmachine at its best.
So
at least you can pre-measure in this edition and figure it out.
Certainly helps. Okay, so if this doesn't work, I'll tell you what I was going to try and do anyway. So there's an ability here called Espionage. So
yes.
That's the range on Valak's there. So I can move into the 8 inches like that, and that's as close as I can get. So if that's not within 8 inches of Foul Blood, it's not going to work.
And do you not need to stay within because you're passing within engagement range of them, do you not need to stay within the 1 inch there?
So when you can move freely into and out of melee zones of models, it's if you start in a melee zone of model and move, you lose your combat action.
It's mostly move points as well because they fly.
Not so much. That would let me move over them. But melee range thing is still important. But because I didn't start in a melee zone,
you didn't start it. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So within 8 inches of Foul Blood, within 8 inches of Valix, so we're going to use Espionage. So Espionage is, if I can be within 8 inches of a leader model, I can pick another friendly warrior model that can move 3 inches.
Wow.
Which is good, which is not going to be like a huge distance, but it's hopefully going to be enough to let me get a line of sight.
Oh, that definitely is a line of sight.
Yeah. And close enough, hopefully, to Foul Blood. Now, Valix himself is speed 6, so that would give me, and has got a 2 inch melee zone, I believe, on the weapons. But there's an extra little bit of movement I can make if that's not enough distance. So that's so I only have 1 inch melee range weapons. But that looks like it's going to be that. Now, on top of this, if I didn't have the range, or if I couldn't get Regulus close enough, I have a spell called Vanish, which basically lets me move 3 inches more. So I could have done the move without Regulus, but if I needed the additional distance, I could also Vanish and then charge.
Okay.
So these are the elements that are going to help Valix be a bit more of an effective assassin.
Yes.
The other things that we could do with your feat turn's like particularly good for resisting this, particularly Fortify.
Yes.
But another way that shows how good an assassin Valix is if I couldn't quite get close enough to your Warlock, say for example I could only get to Chum. And let's say that this was Valix for a second and I was able to charge at Chum there. Perhaps a model that was less resilient than Chum because I'd have to kill the model. But if I can kill the model I'm charging, I can throw my ranged weapons. So
yes.
throw a ranged weapon at Foul Blood and then drag you in. But that's not going to work because you're Fortify, so I can't move you. Okay. As it is, I'm going to have a straight charge.
I'm also thinking, just as an aside as well, it's quite interesting that with the Troublers being quite able to have a feat turn where they're quite resilient, that kind of plays quite well against the Signar starter because they can just weather a whole lot of gun mage shots.
Yeah.
And likewise with how tough they can be or how tricksy the Chimera can be. I think Cador is quite interesting because you can lay down those the cloud templates to make them easy to hit. So it's going to be interesting to see some demo starters, people trying things out with combinations of those boxes even.
It really is. We're actually going to be, it's a little bit going off on the side of this. I'm just
yeah, sure, do you move?
But we're actually running some events, Adepticon, in America, where we're going to be playing Cadre challenges.
Nice.
We're a bit more focused on newer players. Players have just bought a Cadre, so they want to get into the game and they want to try something else. But just a fun little event where you're playing just Cadre boxes against other Cadre boxes.
And that's great. I mean, that's the great thing about it is this plays relatively. I mean, we're talking through a lot of rules, but you play through this so rapidly, or even just with a Warcaster or Warlock and 2 War Beasts or Warjacks equivalent. Right. It's always good for a little brawl. It scales so well.
And here's the thing: this game's going to be over very quickly because either
this is either going to happen. This is either going to work or it won't.
Right. I'm about to take Foul Blood out, or Foul Blood's about to take me out. So let's find out which it is. So Valix is also, we're also using my feat, Blood Moon.
Okay.
So what Blood Moon does is when a friendly faction model directly hits an enemy in Valix's control range, it counts as a critical. So
all your criticals fire off now.
Just, as long as I hit them, they basically just happen as long as I get the actual hit in the first place. So the melee attack of Valix is 7. I have 2 melee weapons. What's the def of
so he's defense 15.
There's more than that as well because it's Monkey Bite.
Oh yes, sorry, yeah. So yes, Monkey Bite is while in melee with this model, living enemy models suffer -2 to their attack rolls.
So we can count it as your defense 17.
I'm defense 70,
or
effectively.
5, yeah.
I'm effective 70.
Either way, I need a 10 to hit you rather than 8.
A 10 to hit me with my armor act, as we established, because of the buffs and debuffs going on.
Yeah, because Ruin and then Feet and your...
Technically +3, so he's on an armor of 19 and a defense of 17.
Well, let's see if we can hit. So with that 7, I'm going to boost the attack roll.
Of course.
I need a 10. Hopefully we'll get something. That is not a 10. I have my second melee weapon. I'm going to boost that attack roll as well. I did get a hit that time.
Yep.
And obviously because I got the crit anyway.
You got a crit, but it is a crit anyway.
Because of Blood Moon, I get my critical effect. The critical effect of the weapon is critical brutal damage, so I'm going to get a bonus damage die.
Okay, great.
And the power of the weapon is 12, and then on top of that, because I really need to punch through your armor, I'm going to boost the damage. So I'm going to roll 4 damage dice.
Okay.
Okay. And he said your armor was 19, basically.
Effectively 19.
So I'm going to be dice off 7, dice minus 7 for this. So that will still be a healthy 7 damage.
7 damage. Let's use some. We've got some dice too. We've got some. We can also keep some dice separate away from him. So we said 7. So I'll just mark these as 7 points.
And your Fury transfer if it starts getting really hot.
Yeah. I'm wondering, should I do that early or late? Now, how much? Sorry, because we've been playing too much of Warcaster. So if I spend a Fury point, that means I can redirect how much damage?
The whole damage.
The whole damage, yeah.
So you spend the Fury point, and that whole damage rolls where the damage goes into the War Beast. And I've only got 2 Fury left, so I'm going to have to buy an attack, and then I can...
I may as well at this point, because if I can weather the storm of this, even if Chum's dead, I can hopefully just smack you next turn.
That's true,
So,
I'm right in front of you.
So, let's let Chum take it.
So it'll be 7 damage to the 4 on Chum.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay.
Now, so this point, Fortify has kind of been a little bit helpful for me, because normally you get your stumbling drop move away, but Fortify can't be pushed.
Oh, okay.
So you get some extra armor, but you're going to be staying still. Okay, so I'm going to buy an attack, and I'm going to boost the attack roll, because I really need that 10 is difficult hit.
Yeah.
And I get a hit.
And it's a critical, but as man, it's always a critical with your feet going on.
Correct, and then 7 off these dice for your damage roll. That'll be another 5 damage.
Yeah, I think we're going to redirect that, and I'm going to let Chum take it all on his head, because he's done what he's needed to do in this game, which is actually totally just be a meat shield against everything.
Yeah.
Because if he hadn't dealt the damage to him, he would be in a position to have threatened your War Beast or your Warlock. So, yeah, it's fine.
Did a great job. Valiantly defending.
So, was this 5 here meaningful for anything?
Yes, because that's the damage on Valix, because I've been having to.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, of course you've been cutting for his fury.
Absolutely. So I've run out of attacks. I don't have any more attacks I can make.
And that's in your turn.
It is in my turn. So there's not going to be any. Well, you actually are still going to score a point here because Warlocks can't contest.
Yes.
Turns. So you'd go up to 3. And then 4. Actually, yeah, you can get a point there as well. Okay, and then because you actually be 3 ahead at the end of my turn, you actually win on swing.
Okay, so technically, if we play through that, that would be win on sorry. But let's just see what Foul Blood should do in this one-on-one and just see how, if there's anything more he can pull off. I don't think, it's at this point, it's most probably, looking at it with Sirens on, because obviously he's going to he would have reaved off the War Beast when it died.
When a War Beast dies from a transfer, you don't get 3 of their Fury. So how this will happen at the start of your turn is for each War Beast,
you get extra, yeah.
For each War Beast in your battle group is dead, you get a free Fury back.
Yeah.
And then you can take Fury from your own health.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because his I wouldn't be able to do that. No, that's fine. I think it was a pre-position you used to get the Fury straight back from them. But yeah, at this point, it would be clear to say I would take 4 health damage to top fully up. And then at this rate, I think it would be a kill.
Start cutting Dark to pieces, really.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be a fail. We could play through it just to see if there's any sort of luck that could come out in this, but we'll see let's see how tough your Warlock is. Let's just see a measure of them.
The other thing as well is because I've I went sort of all into the gamble, the Master of Ruin is up here as well. That -2 armor is affecting Valix.
Oh, does it affect friendly models as well?
All models, yeah, within 5.
Wow.
So Valix is going to be defense 15, and then also because of the -2 from Ruin, armor 15.
So the other thing is, I'm wondering, do I want to put Fortune on them? Because so your defense you said is
15.
Is 15. and my melee attack rating is 7. So fortune for 2, get a single attack, buy an attack. It means I'm not having to boost attack rolls because I'm going to have re-rolls. So it mostly makes sense to pay to have fortune on himself.
Mm-hmm.
Then before his initial attack, which is melee attack rating 7,
Mm-hmm. That's it.
which is a hit. So then I go in for the boost on the damage roll. Damage roll on that, which is going to be 3 dice. That's power 14.
So I'm on 15.
So it's going to be dice plus 1.
Off 1.
Oh, off 1, sorry. So that's 7 damage.
Yeah. So Valx. I'm checking how much health Valx has. Valx has 18 health normally. I'm taking 5.
So that's 12 in total then, with the 7. And then it would be by a further attack. I'm not going to boost it to hit. It's a hit. I would have, if it had missed, I would have re-rolled. That would be the boost damage, which at this point quite likely is a kill.
Valx is done.
And then that would have still meant I had one last fury left if I needed that extra attack. But wow, at the halfway point, I was thinking this ain't going too well because they are quite the Chimera warband we've got here are very fast and very hard to hit because of the flying high, the stealth that's in play, and they've got a lot of movement tricks they can do. But on the flip side, this troll blood command cadre really encapsulates troll bloods in their fullest. They're incredibly tough with how you can spread damage, which means you've kind of got the same flavour as you have with your warlock and your war beast, but in a unit. The stumbling drunk means even if someone's charged into you, you can back away and negate further attacks. And well, he's just a great meat shield and a beat stick for just blowing things apart. I think the one person that mostly didn't really pull their weight is mostly Mr. Boggs, because he could have been in position to deal some damage on the war beast. But I mean, such is the game.
Absolutely, and I think if he was on the other side of the table, he'd have been able to use Monster Hunter against Achilles. So maybe in another game he would have been able to sort of show stuff. But
definitely, I mean, when you compare the playstyle of the Chimera to the other starter bots, the other starter bots with Sigmar and Cador, again, you've got quite a lot of the same sort of movement tricks in there with this warband, which is really good fun. And again, I think always the fact that so much stuff moves around the board in Warmachine is what makes the game really fun. And you're always having to respond. You're always active in the game to see how stuff is moving about rather than just having one big ruck with Warbeast, which is still fun when it happens. But
I always find that the game gives you opportunities to feel clever, and that's always a nice thing. Like when I was playing with Aethys over here, and I was like, I want to get Master of Ruin over there, but I also want to take out some of the Mokabash brothers, make some attacks, just put the Master of Ruin up, make a sprint. Aha, I'm also over here now. And it's that was
a really good game. Thank you very much for that demo. Well, I say demo and example. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. And if you've got any questions about any of the products for Warmachine, obviously you should get in contact with Steamforged Games through their website. And I guess we'll have. And if you're interested in anything of the role-play games, please, you can always find me on social media and places you talk about Iron Kingdoms as well, because I am keen. Some of these models, I will say, the Trollbloods in particular, will be fantastic if you've picked up the books for Nightmare Empire and the Shadows book, so you can play your pirate Trollkins so well now. And it'll be very interesting to see if ever in the future we get a book which has Chimera in there for the roleplay game, because they're, again, fantastic models. Right, well, that's everything for now. It'd be great to come back and sort out another playthrough of something else, look at other models, look at other releases, and that's all for now. So if you've enjoyed that, thank you. Get in contact via the normal channels, and that's goodbye for now. So goodbye.